want to give all the praises and the glory to the Most High and the Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. You know, I can't position the phone correctly, you know, so both of us can get in the phone. But, you know, as you can see, there's two of us on the phone here. We're going to just do like a brief walk and talk. You know, this is obviously nighttime, but the Spirit is on us, you know. So, yeah, we just want to begin by reading, what is it, Luke 21.
Right.
Yeah, you know, read the article, yeah.
Right, can't.
Right, you got everything, yeah?
Yeah, good. And your water. Right. Right, so the first article says, it's from the New York Post. UFOs could threaten US security, polls say after Capitol Hill briefing.
God.
This is, it says, just in time for Independence Day, because this was published in June of this year. It says Capitol Hill lawmakers said on Wednesday that UFOs could pose a pressing threat to America's national security as the polls emerged from a highly classified briefing with Navy and FBI officials on the unexplained phenomenon.
Yeah, because basically what they're doing now is they're going back into and I spoke about this before in the last video that I did on this situation of the Pentagon looking into what they call UAPs. And the reason why I'm talking about this now, because you know our Prime Minister just said that sometime next year they're looking to, or they're expecting the majority of the public, the British people, to you know, get the ooh-wee, I call it the ooh-wee shot. You know?
Yep.
And they also planning on setting up these jab centers and stuff like that, and they're gonna be popping up like a Christmas tree. He said, if I'm correct, brother.
Yeah, when do they want to start pushing it? Is it going to be before Christmas or after Christmas?
Yeah, it's gonna be after Christmas, I would say. They're gonna start it, I think, from Christmas time, but more predominantly. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, we can go. More predominantly after Christmas, they're thinking about doing it.
So going into 2022?
Yeah, going into 2022, yeah. So, pretty much, man, things are really picking up in terms of prophecy is concerned of the Karagma.
That's right.
So simultaneously, what you have is you have a lot of ongoing sites of, as we call them, the chariots of the Lord. And they're seeing all of this stuff.
That's right. Shall I continue reading?
So now, yeah, go on, brother.
Right, so it says, ahead of the release of a highly anticipated Pentagon report on the unidentified flying objects before month's end, members of the House Intelligence Committee received a hush-hush sneak preview inside a SCIF, or Sensitive Compartmented Information Facility. As for the existence of extraterrestrial life, the lawmakers largely left the secrets inside the surveillance-proof room, declining to tell reporters what they learned.
Yeah, declining to tell reporters because they want to keep half of the information to themselves. You know, which is reasonable because they're the Pentagon, of course, if I'm correct, brother, right?
Yeah, if I may say, Salachya, because it makes Esau look bad. If people knew that the Most High had his chariots out here and their technology far surpasses Esau's not going to look so strong out here. And if Esau don't look so strong, people aren't going to fear him. Yeah. They'll fear the Most High. That's why it's in Esau's best interest to keep this thing hush-hush, so he can keep masquerading as if he himself is the Most High and is running the earth.
And that's why for so many years they've been creating this idea, or not creating, but pushing this idea that we are the only ones that exist and there cannot be any other beings that exist. You know, so going back to what the brother is saying, is simply because Esau wants to be the only power on the earth. Excuse me. They want to be declared as the only power to fear. But you know, as time progresses, people are seeing other entities. Excuse me. You know, this is our first time doing this walk and talk thing. You know, so it ain't gonna come out 100% right. So just bear with us. I'll keep it a few uses out there. Yeah. So like I was saying, Esau and just regular people are seeing a lot of these different entities that can't be explained. So now they had to just come out and tell the truth.
Yep.
That this is what we're seeing. This is the truth. And there's nothing else they can do about it. So let's read on, brother.
Right, so reading on, it says, but some did voice concerns that the UFOs, which might be espionage assets controlled by Americans' foreign adversaries, is a possible explanation for just slightly less terrifying than the vanguard of an alien invasion. And that could pose a threat to national security.
And that could pose a threat to national security. And national security knows that these entities exist because they've been about since what, the 1940s and also the 50s. Like, I remember there was some footage that I came across, and I think it was around 1954 where there was this major so-called UFO, which we call them the UFOs because we can identify what these objects are. And
is that when they were flying around the White House?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. I think it was 1954, or maybe 1952. So from that point, they had to take it seriously, I believe, because come on, naturally, you're going to want to look into these things so you can defend yourself.
Yeah.
But it's going to get to the point that these things, they're going to actually reveal themselves and show themselves on the earth and shake the powers out of heaven. We're going to get that in the book of Luke 21 real soon, but we just want to finish what's in this article first. And then we'll get there. So let's
read a bit more, right?
Yeah.
We take the issue of unexplained aerial phenomena seriously to the extent that we're dealing with the safety and security of U.S. military personnel or the national security interests of the United States. So we want to know what we're dealing with, said Representative Sean Patrick Maloney.
Yeah.
I think it's important to understand that there are legitimate questions involving the safety and security of our personnel and in our operations and in our sensitive activities.
And like I said, they're absolutely right. They have to defend themselves. They have to look into things to see what the hell is going on, because we're seeing these things more frequently now.
Yeah.
And if we're seeing it more frequently without the high technological equipment that they have, then they're seeing it on the next level than how we're seeing it. All right, so I just wanted to get with the brother and do a walk and talk on this subject matter, because this is a major part when it comes to the Lord making his second return and our salvation is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we're talking about this outside. And when you look at this place that we're located in, it's looking one way now, but it's going to look totally different in the future. And I mean that in a bad way.
Can I just say something?
Go on, bro.
I noticed the other day, after the Hanukkah, I made my way home on the bus and stuff. And when I was at my house, I was looking up at the sky, because it was nighttime, obviously.
Yeah.
And there was loads of stars around my house.
Likewise.
But there weren't any stars anywhere else in the sky. So I was thinking to myself, are they chariots? But they're all stationary. So I couldn't make out if they were or not. But the fact of the matter is, even if it wasn't chariots visible, the chariots are there anyway.
Yeah.
Because they're cloaking themselves. So it's just that when they get the commandment from the Most High, they're going to make themselves manifest. And they're going to block out the sky. Every eye shall see them.
That's it.
Pertaining to Revelation 1 and 7. Back to you.
Yeah, so there you go. So this is why we're talking about this, because what's getting ready to happen is going to be something out of this world, man. As it says in the book of Daniel 12, it tells us that there shall come a time since there was a nation. Okay? And part of that is what we're actually going to see, the coming of the Lord and his angels. So this is what the Pentagon and the government all around the world know. The governments all around the world know. But more in particular, the Pentagon has to pay more attention, because they know, according to Bible prophecy, that they're Babylon.
It says, I think it's important to understand that there are legitimate questions involving the safety and security of our personnel and in our operations and in our sensitive activities. we all know that there is a proliferation of technologies out there.
Come
He continued, we need to understand space a little bit better. You ain't gonna do it.
So wait a minute. So after all these years,
After supposedly going to the moon.
right? Oh, that's a good point. So I thought, wait a minute, if you went to the moon back in 1969, shouldn't you know more enough about space already? So that's evident that they don't know what the capabilities are when it concerns the Lord and the angels. And what they mean by study space, sorry bro, Salachya. And what they mean by study space a little bit more is we got to study more on these UAPs. So eventually we can gather intel to see what we can do. So maybe we can critique the technology that they got and we can use it against them. But they haven't even figured out space. They haven't even figured out what these UAPs are all about. I'm gonna go over here.
Yep. And if I might add to that, Esau hasn't even searched out the whole earth.
Yeah.
Like he hasn't gone down to the very depths of the sea.
Uh-huh.
There's only so far he can go because the pressure becomes too much.
Gone.
And if they go beyond that, it'll crush them and they'll die.
Right.
So Esau can't even search out the depths of the earth. How the hell is he gonna search out?
Yeah, because it's
heavens?
like 1,000 pounds worth of gravity down there. The deeper you go down there, the more gravity is on top of you. So they don't even have the technology to go underneath the earth to see what's going on down there, and they don't even know the other half. Now, I've seen videos of footage of what they have. Yeah, she's nervous because she sees two Jakes walking. But anyway, Salachya, brother. Yeah, so I mean, I've seen certain things that they've exposed on the on YouTube. Esau went down in the depths of into the waters to the ocean, and they've showed these unique creatures. So they know quite a bit, but Esau doesn't know the other half. Because they haven't went all the way down to the bottom of the sea to know everything. So if they don't even know everything down below, how can they know everything way above? And you can't go way above because you got to pass the Van Helmont belt, which there's a lot of radiation within the Van Helmont belt to pass through it. So if you try to pass through it, all of your ships is going to break.
Yep.
So let's go, bro.
Right, so reading on it says, added Representative Val Dennings, it's always about our safety and security, our national...
I'll tell you what, brother, you know when I'm talking, right? I'll just give it to you so I can...
I've got my hands full.
All right. I'll hold this, yeah.
The water.
Go on.
All right, so it says, our national security is priority number one, so that this is really the area where we are focused on in the morning, this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Representative Alan Schiff, the committee chairman, implied that the briefing was eye-opening, but also declined to get into specifics ahead of the release of a public report.
Mm-hmm.
It was an interesting briefing, he said. I did learn things that were certainly new to me, but I think I'm going to leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Representative Andre Carson, who had been heading the efforts on the UFO inquiry, said Americans should expect an eventual public hearing on the report's findings.
Yeah, well, that'll happen in due time. But when they actually see the greatest phenomenon, then that's when they're going to have to report it. That's when they're going to have to report it. When it's very well evident that, yeah. So when is that time going to come? That's going to come when, like I said, when the angels make their return, and when they make their return, they're going to make their return and showing themselves fully.
Yep.
It's not going to be little bright dots in the sky. It's going to be the whole thing. It's going to be the whole thing. We just want to get a few scriptures on that.
Yep, I've got something.
Yeah, please.
Right,
Baba
so
Kushah.
the scriptures say, then shall the Son of Man come in great glory, in great power. Right, so let's get that. First of all, Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth, and distress of nations, and perplexity, and the sea
But
roaring
that's
with
what
rage.
we're seeing right now. That's exactly what we're experiencing and seeing on this earth. Because when you go to different countries, you can see people protesting, as well as the country we're in England. People are protesting all of the time, and it's all to do with the EV shots. Especially down in Austria, places like Germany, people are protesting because of the mandatory vaccinations. A lot of people don't want to get the thing, but down here, where we're at, you know, and that's not to say that the majority of the people don't want to get it, because a lot of people have already taken it. A lot of people have already taken it, but you got a reasonable amount of people that are rebellious against it, and and especially those that are a part of keeping the system straight. And I'm talking about the military, I'm talking about your police officers. These people don't really want to get the clock shot, like this brother says.
No.
They don't want to get it. So there you have problems on that regard, divisions.
Yep.
And as it says in, what is it, 2 Ezra 15, as well as it says that there should be seditious among men, invading one another, and they should not regard their princes nor their kings. So, you know, there's a whole lot of melee going on in this society, man. People are divided against themselves, and that's a sign of a fall of an empire.
That's right.
That's what we're experiencing right now. But at the same time, what we're seeing the signs of heaven. So let's go back to that.
Can't.
Yeah, I think he was in Luke, what is it, 21? Okay.
And there shall be Luke 21:25, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth, and distress of nations.
And all of this is happening at the same time, if you notice. All of this stuff that Yahawashi spoke about is happening right now. So what does that really show you? Or what does that show us? Whose ears are open to hear, and eyes that are open to see, that the Lord is going to come back real soon. And you know who knows this too? Even the elite. They know that too.
That's right.
They know that the Lord is going to come back. So this is why they're going back on the evidence that they have to examine what these chariots are all about, and what they're about to do, what their capabilities are. Excuse me. Because they know that one day they're going to have to fight the Lord. And obviously they know that they're a wicked bunch of people, and they know they're about to get their ass whooped, and they're about to get their power taken from them.
That's right.
So let's do a lot of investigating, and let's gather as much intel as we can so that we can protect our ass, and hopefully we can overcome all of these alien based creatures, as they call them, in the heavens. But that's not going to happen, because it's already written in prophecy that they're going to lose dramatically.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, really.
That's right.
It's already written that this society, it was set up and it's destined to fall apart as we see it.
Yeah, it's falling apart right in front of our eyes as we speak.
Yeah, if you want to say something, brother.
I was just going to finish off this precept. It says, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, and the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Yeah, and they're shitting bricks right now. They're shitting themselves because they see, and I'm talking about the Pentagon to be exact, they see what's going on in them skies. They know what's up.
That's why they have to keep cutting the NASA feeds. That's what I'm going to say.
Oh,
Yeah, when they have the NASA feeds.
go on, bro, I got you.
Right, when you watch the NASA feeds, they're always cutting it. Like if any so-called UFOs appear, they always cut the feed and loop the footage.
Yeah,
So they don't want you to see what's really going on in the heavens.
right.
So that's Esau for you, man. Fucking liar.
Yeah. And they don't really want to show you everything, because they don't want you to get scared either. You know, they want you to just get scared of their government, and that's it. That's what it is, like the brother mentioned already before. So, like I said, going back to the precept of what Yahawashi said, in the last days, you're going to see people in a distress situation with perplexity, which the word perplexity means confusion. And also the word is akitasia, and from the Greek.
Chappers.
Yeah. Yeah, the Greek word is akitasia. I'm pronouncing it correctly. And it means great instability. So aren't we seeing that around certain parts of the world? Great instability? Of course we are.
And Esau's even hiding that.
Yeah.
Like you have to go to the alternative news channels to really see. Watch out for the water. You have to go to the alternative. Salachya. You have to go to alternative news channels to see what's really going on in terms of the uproars of the people.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get it on BBC News.
No, you're not. You got it, brother. You going up?
Yeah, that's all I was going to say. So Esau's doing his best to hide this truth, but it's like he can't keep a lid on this thing for much longer because the truth now is exposing him on every front.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
Hey, that's all we gotta say. So we're gonna keep the precepts going.
All right, so moving on to Zechariah. Or did I finish that one? Let me see.
No, I don't know. You never read that.
Yeah, let me just finish this quickly,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then this is Luke 21:27. And then I'll carry that.
Come on, the water, brother.
Right. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory.
Yeah, and that's what the whole world is going to see. The angels and as well as our Lord and our Savior. All right? And, I mean, this is a scary thing, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're the very remnant at the very top, that's always been controlling everything for centuries, and now all of a sudden, you're just going to lose everything. Again, that's a scary thing, man. Because you got to think about it. I mean, there's people on here on this earth that haven't worked a day in their life. They've never seen a day in court. And they're not going to see a day in court in the future because they own the courts. They own the police departments and all of that other stuff. And these same people can actually do what we can't do and still get off scot-free. I'm talking about go to a police department and actually kill someone that works in the police department and get off scot-free. And I'm talking about niggas like the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the DuPonts and the Gettys, all of these fortunate families, because they control the system inside and outside of it. Okay, so these are people that were born in a situation where they were comfortable, man. They were secure, they were taken care of. Okay, so they're gonna lose all of that. So I mean, if I were them, I would be shitting bricks myself, like we say in up north, Liverpool. Right? So I mean, I would be terrified, knowing that I'm going to lose everything, knowing that I'm going to have to be a slave. And that's another thing too. They know that they're going to be the slaves under the Israelites.
If I may say something, you can see that's true because Esau's greatest fear was us waking up.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why he worked so hard to try and hide this truth from us.
Exactly.
For so many years.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah. And that's why they've been oppressing us so severely. They've been talking that bullshit about, oh yeah, especially using their media outlet programs and saying that, you know, you niggas ain't gonna amount to nothing. You ain't gonna be about nothing. And all of this other stuff, and we're nothing but criminals and no good doing individuals, that's all you are. And the world has been blinded to that. All right? But they've even blinded us to believe in that crap. Yeah, we're gonna turn back around.
Come on.
We're gonna go over here.
Right. I've got another precept.
Okay.
This is Zechariah 5 and verse 1.
Yeah.
And it says, ooh. Yeah. Right. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and lo, I beheld a flying roll. Mm-hmm. And he said unto me, what seest thou? I answered, I see a flying roll,
God.
And the length thereof is 20 cubits,
right,
and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits.
Right, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. So that was somewhat of a small chariot. But he saw something that the average person didn't understand. Only he could understand it because he was given the secrets to understand it.
Go on. Shall I read?
Go on.
Verse 3. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth.
Yeah.
For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it.
Exactly. And that's why they should take it as a threat. They should. The Pentagon should take it as a threat when they see these chariots, because it's a means to an end of their world. That's all it means. And it means that the Father's coming back real soon.
That's right.
The great fathership is coming back. In other words, who's going to be in that ship? Yahawashi is going to be on that ship to take this man down, to take these demons out of power.
That's right.
That the Lord has given him. Because remember, it was the Lord that gave these people the power in the first place. So therefore, it's going to take him to take them out of power.